Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Tool Craze. My name is Javier, and in this video we're going to be checking out a completely brand new angle grinder mount called the X-Lock mount, and this is from Bosch. So the X-Lock mount is completely revolutionary because it offers insanely fast and easy blade changes or wheel changes, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So it is so fast and easy that literally blades just snap in, as you can see, and then they just snap off. So it only takes not even a fraction of a second to snap it into place and about a second or so to pop it off. Extremely fast and easy. And just to see how much time savings and effort, we're going to go and show you and demonstrate the old method of doing things. And I'm going to use this is a Biscuit Joiner, and as all you guys know, it's basically an angle grinder with an attachment head to make biscuit joints. But anyways, that's not the important part of this. We're just going to show you how to replace wheels and blades on an angle grinder, and basically you're going to need one of these things. This is the spanner wrench. So normally you're going to have to use a tool to remove wheels, angle grinder wheels, and to do so you have to first find the little lock button on the bottom, press that, rotate the blade until it locks into place, and then use your spanner wrench to loosen the lock nut up top, then untighten it by hand, replace your wheel, and put the lock nut back on, and then twist, and then you tighten it. So as you can see, it did take a little bit of effort, a little bit of time. Tools were required. So one of the things is that if you lose this, you're basically out of luck, because you're gonna have to go to the store, buy one, waste a day or two trying to find these. You might have to even order these online. So it's going to require tools, time and effort, and that's what's nice about the X-Lock system. So in the time that it took me to replace one wheel, I could probably replace, let's see, 2, 3, and then let's flip it around, 4 wheels. So it's a lot faster. Now, there's some angle grinders that actually don't need the spanner wrench, and I'll show you right here. So some of you guys actually have the Milwaukee system, which uses, not all of their angle grinders have this, but one of their brushless, cordless M18 fuel models does, and this is the Fixtech lock nut, and it offers a little flip-up lever, and you can basically just untighten these by hand, place your wheel, pop it back into place, and then tighten it back by hand and flip the lever down, and you're good to go. As you can see, it still did take some time, some effort. You didn't have to require any tools to be used, and it did save you the time of having to go fetch the spanner wrench from your toolbox, but time and effort were required. So that's one of the nice things about this. And there's also some safety issues, because also I know that some of you guys are going to say in the comment section, well, you know what, I don't have a Fixtech lock nut, and I do require to use one of these spanner wrenches, but I don't use that as well. And that's because people will just do these by hand, and what they'll do is they'll make sure that it's locked into place, grab the wheel, and you can just untighten it by hand. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And the same thing, just tighten this piece by hand as well, and you can tighten the wheel, and there you go. So literally no tools are necessary to do so, not even a spanner wrench or a Fixtech lock nut. Although it did require some effort, it did require some time to do so, but there's also a nice little benefit of using the X-Lock mount versus even just doing this by hand, and I'll show you right here. And that's because some of the wheels, such as cutoff wheels, they're very thin. As you can see, this one's almost paper thin. So if we put that on there and we try to do that by hand, I'll show you. Whoops, okay. So do that by hand, and as you turn it, this is so thin that I run the risk of fracturing it, cracking it, and if these wheels are cracked, they're fractured, and you start using them and cutting it, some of that wheel might actually shard off and can hit you in the face, can hit you in the body, poses a pretty serious health risk. So that's one of the nice things about this mount and of the new X-Lock mount is you don't even have to do it by, you don't even have to tighten by hand. Another issue is that a lot of times when you're trying to tighten these by hand, as you can see, you're not fully tightening these things because the wheel still spins. And that's where your spanner wrench would come in, or you can even finish these things off and tighten them a little bit further by hand so that they're nice and secure. So a lot of new benefits with the X-Lock mount. Faster, it's easier. Don't have to worry about making sure that they're correctly tightened. Don't have to worry about any safety issues with them breaking off by accidentally bending these when you're installing them by hand. And there's also a nice little safety issue as well. If you're using these metal wheels, these are diamond wheels, and these do get hot. When you're using a grinding wheel or a cut-off wheel, these do get hot as they're cutting and grinding, but as soon as you stop, they cool off extremely fast. So let's say you needed to replace these, even though you don't have gloves, you can still touch them by hand. They're not hot at all. But these, because it is metal, these do stay pretty hot, pretty warm. So if you're trying to remove these by hand without the use of gloves, you're going to have to wait for them to cool off. So very nice benefits of the X-Lock mount. Still, some of you guys might say, well, honestly, I'm perfectly fine and happy changing wheels the old-fashioned way, using this. Don't really swap out wheels that often, so I don't really need the time savings. And I agree with you. I myself don't, when I use these angle grinders, I don't use them that often, but it is nice moving forward. That's one of the things we want to move forward in the industry. We want to make things as easy as possible, as fast as possible, so we spend less time fiddling with things and more time working. So I do like that. Another benefit of this is that actually these X-Lock wheels are backwards compatible with an older angle grinder, and as you can see, this is actually has an X-Lock wheel installed on it already, as you can see. And if you don't believe me, I'll take it off just to show you. And look at that. So I just took that off and I just popped it into place. Bam. So that's because these discs have the round arbor hole to fit old angle grinders. So that's nice. The blades themselves are backwards compatible. That means that you can, even if you don't have an X-Lock angle grinder right now, you can go to the store, pick these up, X-Lock wheels, and use them on these. So in the future, when you do get an X-Lock grinder, you already have the wheels for it. So that is nice. What are the downsides? Okay, so one of the downsides is the mount itself is not backwards compatible. The wheels are, but the mount itself is not. And I'll show you. So basically I have right here an regular angle grinder wheel with a regular round arbor, and as you can see, this has a special shape on it, and it's a little bit bigger, so that does not fit on there. So the way the X-Lock mount works is it basically has a special shape that goes in there, and the special shape is what keeps it in place and from spinning freely as this does. So there doesn't need to be any lock nuts to tighten it in place, and that's because you don't have to worry about this spinning. But what does attach it are these little teeth that are in the center, and they're closed, and as soon as you snap a blade in there, they open up and they grab the wheel like this, like that. So that's the way it works. The wheel is only, the shape, the special shape is only accessible in one direction, which it's kind of a nice thing, but at the same time, you would expect that most wheels would have the label on the top, and that is true in most cases. So in this case, the label is on the top of the wheel. Makes it pretty simple. Same thing with this one. The label is on the top of the wheel. But sometimes you'll get a hold of a wheel that the label does not go on top. So you can put that on there like this. You cannot fit it in there because of this special shape is only one side. That means you have to flip it over, and that's how it works. Okay, so now that we covered all of that, what about the availability? So far in the here in North America, in the United States, Bosch is the only manufacturer that actually has one of these angle grinders for the X-Lock mount available here in the States. And they have one cordless model, the one we have here, and they have 4 corded units to choose from. These are available right now to purchase from. As far as other brands, not yet, not here in the United States. I know Makita has one, and you can check that out on the Tool Craze website. I wrote all about it. They have a Makita, it's a cordless 18 volt. It's also brushless. It has all their features on it. The downside is it's not available here in the United States. It's overseas at the moment. But they also do have wheels as well. And as far as availability for wheels, so Bosch has a nice assortment of these. And they're also priced at the same price as a normal wheel that's not X-Lock, so you don't have to spend extra money. As far as availability goes, you can find these online. You can't go to any stores at the time of this video. You still have to order these online, but they do have a nice variety of these. And I'll put a link down below in the description on where you can buy these, as well as the angle grinders as well. Diablo makes wheels, X-Lock wheels as well, so they have a nice little variety. Not as much as Bosch at the time of this video. And Makita also has a nice assortment of X-Lock wheels as well, but as I mentioned earlier, those are not available here in the United States. But I expect Makita to have their angle grinder and X-Lock wheels available here in the States at some point in the near future. So since we do have this angle grinder right here, I might as well give you guys a quick little review. This model is a GWX18V-50PC. This model is a brushless angle grinder. As you can see, brushless motor. Brushless angle grinders offer you better performance and better runtime than brushed motor angle grinders. And as you guys already know, brushed angle grinders, they were good as cutoff tools. They didn't have too much power. If you pushed on them a bit, they would start to bog down. So they really weren't good for grinding. But as soon as the brushless angle grinders came out, they were very good in performance and a lot better when it came to grinding. So one of those was the Milwaukee. Milwaukee actually came out with one of the first brushless angle grinders. It had very nice performance, and it was actually comparable to a corded model. Not a high power unit, more of a low power corded unit, but it still had corded performance. Then Makita came out with their cordless brushless 18 volt model, which was just as powerful as the Milwaukee. So both were very top performance, and the reason I bring those two up is because I have something to compare this model to. So after testing this out, I can say that it's very powerful. It's a solid performance, and it's just as powerful as the Makita and the Milwaukee model. So that's good to see there, that it's just as powerful as a low power corded unit. So it's very nice. That means you can push down pretty hard for grinding, and it's not going to bog down on you. You actually have to press pretty hard, put a lot of pressure in there just to bog it down if you wish. But under normal use, it's got plenty of power. And as far as performance goes, they're both very similar. I put them side by side, doing the same type of cuts, same type of blade, same material, and the performance was basically the same. So it would take about the same time for both of these units for the Bosch to cut as fast as these other brushless models. So that is nice to see. That's a top performer, and it has nice solid performance. It does have a little bit more RPM, so it's a little bit faster. It runs at 9,000 RPMs versus 8,500. It's not that big of an increase. It's a very small increase, but I did like that the Bosch does run a bit smoother when it comes to cutting than the Milwaukee. So when I was doing some cuts with the Milwaukee, I noticed that it did vibrate a little bit. Not anything serious. It was perfectly fine the way it did, although it seemed like, I don't know if it was a gearbox or just the way the wheels spun, but it vibrated just a little bit. No big deal, but I did like that on the Bosch model. It was very smooth at cutting. So very nice. So going on to the rest of its features, it's a very nice slim profile handle, very comfortable grip. As you can see at the bottom, it's a paddle grip trigger. It's got the little safety on the bottom. And we'll put on the wheel. It's also a braking grinder, which I'll show you guys right here. So when you press the trigger and you release, it stops within a few seconds. So that's a nice safety feature. Let's say you didn't have this wheel guard on here, and on other grinders that don't have the electric brake, the wheel would still be spinning as soon as you let go of the trigger, and that means that if you were to place this down, you would have the wheel still spinning, and it would skip around, could damage your work surface, can come back and hit you, or you'd have to wait for it to stop spinning. With this, you don't have to worry about that, as it stops on the spot and it's a lot faster. So very nice safety feature. Looking at the front, it's got it does come with a wheel guard, just one wheel guard, and this is the grinding wheel guards. As you can see, since it is open all the way on the bottom. It doesn't come with the cutoff wheel guard, which would cover this, but it is nice that it does come with one at least. And you can also rotate this. This is toolless to rotate, as you can see. Something that I found a little bit interesting was that the lever to rotate this is actually built into the body instead of the wheel guard. So as you can see, it's right there. Found this to be a little strange because on other angle grinders, that button is on the blade, the wheel guard itself. Not really a big deal, just thought I'd mention that with you guys. It's also a Bluetooth ready angle grinder, and I say ready is because it doesn't come with Bluetooth connectivity out of the box. What you do is you have to buy a little Bluetooth module that goes in right here. So basically, you grab a coin, and you pop this off, put your Bluetooth module right there, and then you set it back into place, and then you have that Bluetooth connectivity, and you can have all the features of that, such as tracking and so forth. So, but you do have to, it is an optional separate accessory that's going to cost you a little bit more cash. So since we're talking about money, first of all, I'll say that as of right now, at the time of this video, this only comes as a bare tool, which means no batteries or charger will be included, not even a case, which would have been nice. All that it comes with is just the angle grinder itself and a wheel guard and the cardboard box and instruction. That's about it. It would have been nice if it came with a case, even if it is just a bare tool, so I can have something to put it in, or maybe in the tool bag, but it doesn't come with that. As far as price is concerned, it's $199, and that's just for the bare tool. So it's pretty pricey for a cordless, brushless, just a bare tool angle grinder. I know if you were to look at Makita's, they have a cordless 18 volt, and it's also brushless angle grinder, and those can go as low as $119 for a bare tool. So $119 versus $199, that's a pretty big jump in price. Makita does have some more expensive models. They have some that range all the way up to about $170, and that one will offer you a variable speed lever on the back. So if you want to change your RPM to better suit the different material cutting or grinding needs, you can do that. This Bosch does not have that. It's only one speed, but going back, it's 170 versus 199, and this is just a single speed, or you can't even change the speeds with a variable speed dial. It doesn't have that, so it is on the higher end of the spectrum. Overall, it's a very nice solid tool. It's got lots of performance. I do love the X-Lock mount, and it's just like the Star-Lock mount where it has this blade changes where you just snap them into place and snap them right off. Very simple and easy. I love this. This is a nice way to move forward in the industry. I expect to see other brands. We already see Makita, so I expect to see other brands that jump on board with the X-Lock mount as well, so we can have different angle grinders from different brands, and different blades and wheels and accessories from different brands as well, so we have a bigger assortment and selection for the X-Lock system. So lovely. So I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Don't forget to check out the Tool Craze website. That's www.toolcraze.net, where you can find more reviews than we have here on this YouTube channel. And there's also daily content, and you're going to find lots of tool news, such as the tool news for the X-Lock mount actually came out over a year ago. It came out early last year. So if you guys follow the Tool Craze website, this grinder and the X-Lock mount is not news to you guys. You guys already know about this. But just recently did they actually launch the system, and we're able to review it just now. So a big thanks to Bosch for supplying the angle grinder and X-Lock accessories so we can check out. Big thanks to you guys for watching and supporting the Tool Craze channel and the Tool Craze website. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.